Okay, so even here in India, the same connection that we have, upon herself she holds her tail in her mouth, the snake coiled. Now, you can find out about this Kundalini in the book of Isaiah, how it relates to the book of Job, chapter 38. A very, very interesting connection here of how these locusts, being these people under the earth, what is going to be the nature of their power? Well, it has everything to do with this Kundalini rising. Now, for any of you who practice Kundalini, not talking bad about you, but I am absolutely going to reveal the identity and the origin and the nature and the character of these beings' power. And whether you know it or not, it is directly connected to Leviathan, this rising serpent, who is supposed to have 7 heads, which represents the 7 chakras. So there's a whole bunch of symbolism there, but nonetheless, this is intrinsically and esoterically, theologically related to these end times events and these world age symbols that, of course, even the Hebrew Bible is carrying, with the serpent at the introduction, the beginning of the world age, and then at the closing of a world age. And then there's a binding, and then there's a loosing again. I don't think that there's anybody here at this point in time that could honestly argue that fact. So here we go. Another serpent, and then we have the self-eating description, and then we have, once again, the chaos waters, which is going to relate us to the abyss. Once again, a snake, this renewing. We have this death, this morning, this twilight, the whole thing. And then, of course, once again, life, death, rebirth, this symbolism here. And then there is our Ouroboros. So, without a doubt, that is the riddle of Samson solved, which is an esoteric riddle that is encoded within the Hebrew narrative. Now, how does it get there? It's very simple. If you understand the connection that the patriarchal line of some of the tribes of Israel, the early Hebrews, that they derive their origins directly from these Nodites. Now, we're talking vast expanses of time. Vast. So we're having to condense it down into an understanding of descendants from Nodites to these early Hebrews, but you have to think about the genetics being bred out over time. And then, of course, the original stock of these genetics, which were connected to the sons of God and their immediate progeny, those are the ones that you see that have gone into the inner earth, that was connected to the verse in Ezekiel, which we are looking at, seeing those cities and those civilizations that were destructed of an old time. Okay, I know it's a lot to take in, but it's on video and you can understand. So we're talking about a cycle of renewal that is being continually called. Now we're going to start closing this thing down. We don't have much longer to go. That's continually being called the morning, okay, or this dawning. And that's exactly what's taking place. At the exact same time we're closing a world age cycle, we are starting the dawning of another world age cycle. Now that's considered the morning. Now I want you to see a clue that you might not have noticed when we looked here at Joel, that some of you have already seen, but it's worth noting here again. And this is going to be those that are the mighty men, all right? And that's going to be the locust once again. This is what is the description the Bible offers for what's about to come upon us. But of course, this is what we're looking at here. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. My friends, big information. So when we begin to have this dawning of this new age, that in this dawning period, this great people, once again connecting us to Babylon the Great, all the way back down to the Eden event with the introduction of the serpent and this great lie which being perpetuated against mankind even to this day.